So you're thinking of moving to Denver, Colorado, and you want to know where the coolest neighborhoods are? In this video, we're going to go over the cooler neighborhoods in Denver, Colorado, and we're going to get to it right now. What's up everybody, this is Angel and I'm a real estate agent, and the first neighborhood we're going to take a look at, it's the LoDo neighborhood. LoDo stands for Lower Downtown, and first we're going to jump into the map and I'm going to show you exactly where it is. We're looking at a map of Denver, and if we zoom in, LoDo is going to be over here in the highlighted area. LoDo is the heart of Denver. We have Union Station, although technically not in LoDo, it's right next to LoDo. It's the Coors Field. There's 16th Street Mall, Larimer Square, the Dairy Block, which is one of the very unique things about Denver. We also call it the Milk Market, and it's basically a lot of restaurants and actually a bar as well that they kind of came together and they formed this kind of communal place for eating, and it's just a very cool place to hang out. And it's also right next to the Central Business District, which has the Colorado Convention Center. It has an outdoor mall that's very cool to hang out there. It has awesome views of the city, and this is where most travelers go as soon as they arrive into downtown Denver. They typically arrive at Union Station and then start their trip from there. In this area, you're gonna see a lot of condos and apartment complexes. You won't really see single family homes. Typically the people that live here is the people that like the city living. They want to be in a busy place. They want to be able to walk everywhere. It's a very walkable place. Another one of the neighborhoods that's very cool, it's having a ton of new construction. It's called the RiNo neighborhood. RiNo stands for River North Arts District. And this is where a lot of the art pieces are going to be. A lot of murals over here. There's a lot of breweries. A lot of younger people like to hang out there. The nightlife is great over there in that area. There's awesome views of downtown Denver from there, especially if you go into a rooftop. And this is really an up and coming area. There's a lot of new developments going on. And going into the map, you're going to see that it is right next to LoDo. So LoDo is going to be in this area. The RiNo neighborhood is going to be in this area, and as you can tell, just zooming in, you can tell there is a ton of breweries, hotels, and other places for entertainment right over there, especially on Blake Street and Walnut Street. I just want to take a second to say I'm a real estate agent, and if you're moving to Denver, Colorado, reach out and we're going to have a private one-on-one conversation where we're going to go over what you like and especially what you don't like, so that we can narrow down your search and find a perfect place for you. All of the information's in the description below. Now back to the video. The next neighborhood is going to be Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is one of the favorite neighborhoods for especially younger people. The reason is rents are typically cheaper in that area compared to the areas around there, and it's also very walkable and convenient. If you really don't want to have a car, this is probably one of those places where you can get away without living with a car. And so going into the map, again, we have Denver over here, and if we zoom in, we're gonna see Capitol Hill. Again, you can see there's a lot of things to do. There's always a lot of restaurants and things to do along Colfax. So the Capitol Hill neighborhood is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Denver, Colorado, and the Colorado State Capitol is right over here. So of course there is a lot of history. By the way, if you're coming into town and you want to tourist Denver before making your move here, I would highly recommend you going to the Colorado State Capitol. They have a taxpayer sponsored tour, and so you can take a look at the Capitol and you can see some of the cooler facts that we have over here in the Capitol in Denver, Colorado. I highly recommend that. Also in this area, you're going to see one of the cooler buildings in Denver, Colorado, in my opinion. It's gonna be this cathedral, and we're also very close to Fillmore Auditorium. There is some stand-up comedy going in there. Sometimes some bands play in there, so it's a very cool place to hang out. And by the way, Colfax, which is the street you see over here, is the longest road in the United States, and it's over 26 miles. So they actually have a Colfax Marathon. So just one fun fact about Denver. Now the next neighborhood we're going to take a look at is Central Park. Central Park is huge. There's a lot of things going on there all the time. As we were editing the video, I realized I said Central Park and not City Park. I was working on a separate video earlier, so that was kind of at the top of my mind, but the actual name is called City Park. Let's go back to the video. The Denver Zoo is right next to it. The Denver Museum of Science. There's lakes. People go there. They want to play soccer. They play frisbee. It's a good place to just hang out with the dog, hang out with the family, do a picnic. It's just a great park. It's huge. And right next to it, there's also the golf course, which is beautiful. But now let me show you the map. So we're in the map of Denver again, and just to put it all together so far, we have LoDo. It's gonna be over here in this area. We're gonna have RiNo over here in this area. We're gonna have Capitol Hill in this area. And now we're gonna take a look at City Park, which of course it's in this area. So let's zoom in. And this is what I was telling you about. Again, it is just a huge park. There is a playground, tennis courts, the zoo, the golf course is right next to it, the Denver Museum of Science, and over here along Colfax, you're gonna have a ton of businesses, you're gonna have restaurants, and there's really no shortage of entertainment. And over here you also have a hospital nearby, so it's just a great place to be. Denver East High School, it's one of the more popular high schools. It's very well known over here in Denver, Colorado. It's right over there, right next to City Park, so that's one of the cooler neighborhoods as well. Now the next neighborhood, it's gonna be LoHi. LoHi stands for Lower Highlands, and it's right on the other side of the river from LoDo. So going back into the map, we were taking a look at LoDo, which is south of the river. The highland is going to be north of the river, and it cuts right there, as you can tell. However, LoHi is specifically a section of the highlands. It cuts here through Sunny Street all the way to 38 and then back, so it's gonna be over there in that area. And I've been having issues with my mouse, so don't judge me on the lines that I'm making. But anyways, that's LoHi, and LoHi has a ton of higher end restaurants. They're great places to hang out. Over here you're actually gonna see some townhomes and single family homes, so it's a different kind of living from the other neighborhoods we've been looking at. But I will say, out of all of the neighborhoods we have talked about so far, they're all a big pain to find parking, and it's just the nature of it. A lot of people want to be in those areas. There's a lot of demand, there's not as many parking spots. So just one thing to note, if you have many cars or you don't want to live with the inconvenience, these neighborhoods are probably not for you. But anyways, going into the next neighborhood, it's gonna be Sloan Lake, and Sloan Lake is one of my favorite places to go out and shoot videos. Actually, let me jump into the map. I'm gonna show you real quick. Sloan Lake is right over here in this area. City Park, it's over here in this area. They both are comparable in terms of sizes. City Park is gonna be a little bit bigger if you count the golf course, but what I want to do is, I have different drone footage from both places, and I want you to comment down below. Do you prefer Sloan Lake or do you prefer City Park? Let me know in the comments, I'll be curious. I can tell you my favorite is gonna be Sloan Lake, and the reason is you have really cool shots of downtown Denver, but on the other side you actually get to see the mountains, and it's just a very cool place to watch the sunset, and there's always people working out, and just a good experience. But anyways, going back into the map, I guess I kind of gave it away. Sloan Lake is gonna be over here in this area, and again, LoDo is over here in this area. That's where most people arrive when they get to downtown Denver. Sloan Lake is going to be over here in this area. Now, if you see, it is very close to Colfax. There's a lot of things going on right over here. We have breweries, we have restaurants, there's farmers market that they put their stores right over there. There's the movies. Over here by Sheridan, you'll also see tons of breweries, tons of restaurants, lots of things to do. There is the Edgewater Public Market, which you should definitely check out if you're coming over here into Denver, Colorado. And just for reference, the Broncos Stadium is going to be right over here in this area. So there's a lot of things to do in this area. Most of the properties north of the lake are going to be single family homes. To the south of the lake, there are going to be more townhomes and apartments and condos. So that's just one thing to take into account if you want to move into this area. Now that we're here, we're going to take a look at the Berkeley neighborhood. Berkeley is going to be right north of Sloan Lake. So if we go back into the map, Berkeley is going to be the highlighted area. Again, we have Sloan Lake in the south side. Berkeley is going to be in the north side. As you can tell, there's two different lakes. Awesome place to hang out. Awesome place to go for walks, hang out with the family. There is a neighborhood in between. It's called the West Highland, which for purposes of this video, it's very comparable to both Berkeley and Sloan Lake. And right over here, in addition to having those parks, there's Tennyson Street, and Tennyson Street is a very cool place. There's lots of restaurants, there's lots of things to do, lots of people just go walking. In these areas, in both Sloan Lake and Berkeley, you kind of have like a mix of you are living close to the action, but you're not in the middle of it like LoDo or LoHi. You actually get to live in a house, and it's just a very good combination. You're not living in a suburb either, so there's lots of things going on, but you also get the comfort. So these are some good neighborhoods for young families or young professionals. By the way, these are some of the neighborhoods that had the most appreciation from last year. And again, right now the market is uncertain, it's kind of coming down, we don't really know what's going to happen, but these were the neighborhoods that saw the most appreciation in Denver, Colorado. So one thing to take into account. Now we're going to go into the south of Denver. We're going to take a look at Washington Park. Let's jump into the map. Washington Park is one of the older neighborhoods again, and it is very close by to Capitol Hill. It's very close to the action, but again, in this area, these are million-dollar homes. These are areas where you have the conveniences of living close by to downtown Denver, but you don't have many of the cons of living in downtown Denver. So it's a great balance, as well as the other neighborhoods we were talking about. And here you're gonna find some condos and single family homes, but mainly single family homes. Washington Park itself, there's tons of activities during the summer. People play frisbee, golf, they put like volleyball nets and they play. It's very cool, and you also get some very nice views of the city. Now lastly, we're going to take a look at the University neighborhood. I like this neighborhood because it is by DU, or the University of Denver, which I don't really know why they call it DU. You would think they would call it UD, but I don't make the rules. So over here, it's very young. There's a lot of restaurants. It is right by Washington Park, but it's gonna be a little bit less expensive than living in Washington Park. So you're gonna have a tons of restaurants over here by Evans and University Boulevard. Plus the university sometimes has events, so you can attend those as well. This neighborhood has like a younger vibe, and it's just a cool place to be if you're in that age group. Now, these neighborhoods might not be for you. Maybe you want to be closer to the mountains. Maybe you want to live in a quiet neighborhood. It's all good. Everybody wants different things. That's why it's so important that you reach out. Our job with this channel is giving you an honest opinion and actually give you the information that you need so that you can make the most informed decision. So right now, hit the subscribe button. We do videos every week, the most in-depth videos about living in Denver, Colorado and the surrounding areas. So the least you can do is hit the like button, and also if there's a place you have been reading about that you want to see what's actually like to live there, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video there. Until next time, see you later.